Hello and welcome everyone to the TELx Reoccurring Council meeting. Just a quick foreword before we get started. These meetings serve several functions in supporting transparent and effective governance. They provide transparency to the community. They establish structure and organization for council forums, enable authors to present their proposal to both the council and the broader community, facilitate review, debate, and refinement of proposals to achieve consensus and mutual understanding, deliver regular updates on the TELx ecosystem, ensure consistent communication between council members and the community, and allow the community to engage directly in Q&A with us, the council members. The TELx Council is a local governance body tasked with overseeing TELx operational rules, ensuring system health, supporting social well-being within the ecosystem, and safeguarding TEL liquidity as a core economic pillar of the network. The overview, the TELx Council reviews, develops, and votes on TELx IP proposals to introduce or modify elements of the TELx system, adjust TELx harvesting rules, strengthen TEL liquidity conditions, and represent the interest of their constituency in all matters related to TELx. Duties of the TELx Council were responsible for planning, financing, and coordinating the implementation of improvements to the TELx system, regulating the issuance and distribution of TEL for harvesting by liquidity miners, ensuring the health, depth, and stability of TEL liquidity across TELx markets, including policies that support sustainable liquidity mining, responsible token flows, and long-term economic resilience. Also introducing, modifying, and enforcing TELx operational rules, including those related to harvesting, communication, maintenance, and construction. And finally, informing miners of council activities, outcomes, and results from snapshot votes. For those snapshot votes, there are a certain amount of requirements. All council members must participate in these snapshot votes. Proposals require a majority 5 of 6 in order to pass, and all votes must be cast within 5 days of the proposal being posted to Snapshot. So now that we got the fun stuff out of the way, I'll just go through quickly the agenda for the day, and then we will pass it off to Ty for a recap of the last meeting. So first, after that, we're going to talk about Merkl again, just to kind of finalize things there. I think we're all aligned. After that, I'll jump into a little bit of the pool restructuring proposal that we had been kind of going back and forth on. We'll talk a little bit about the TEL3 upgrade and what that means for the TELx side of things. And then we'll open everything up to the community or other council members for an open Q&A session. So at this time, I'll pass it off to Ty for an update on last week's meeting.
Well, hello there. This is a recap from June the 24th. We covered 4 main areas: the Merkl distribution findings. Nick gave a presentation on unified web presence. There was a reward calculator bug fix talked about and issued. And there was a discussion on the metrics for KPIs to see how well these pools are performing. So the Merkl proof of concept confirmed that Merkl distributes rewards more equitably than the native system across all campaign configurations. There was a recommendation for a 50% liquidity, 25% token A, 25% token B configuration, which struck the best balance between fairness and incentivizing high-value liquidity providers. The council noted Merkl's flexibility to adjust weightings week to week. Payment terms were confirmed, 1 payment per month for 4 months. That was to cover the work required for the proof of concept project, which is complete. And with a 3% ongoing fee deducted from distributed TEL. That's the ongoing fee Merkl charges for distributing the weekly rewards. Proposal documentation is pending, council review of the proof of concept report before posting to the forum. Just an update, that's been done now, so the end of proof of concept summary reports available for viewing on the forum. The unified web presence is nearly complete in the content and UI phase. awaiting final sign-off before entering a 12-week build phase. The new site will feature ecosystem breakdowns, user journey paths, a developer landing page with GSMA and open source routes, and a governance section. The TELx section will be visually reskinned to align with the unified design while preserving all existing Web3 functionality. The platform will be built as a full CMS, enabling non-developer content updates. There was a bug reported by a community member, Martin G, and that was patched as soon as we investigated that it was a legitimate bug. It was patched by Noah, reviewed by Leo, and implemented as soon as we approved the fix. So this week's rewards, which is in the context of June the 24th, was going out using the past patched version. So we've had 2 weeks basically now of rewards with this fix in place. TVL was confirmed as the primary KPI for TELx success, with active liquidity miners as a secondary metric. Dashboard enhancements and Derek's analytics tool were deferred to phase 2 post-launch, with an internal concept meeting to be scheduled to define display requirements. And that concludes the summary from last time's meeting. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you, sir. You almost got, good thing you caught yourself. You almost did what I did and said last week, but yeah.
Thought I got away with it.
Yeah, I said it out loud, so it's all good. You did better than I did. Okay, great. Thanks for that, Ty. Yeah, so next I think we just want to put a bow on this whole Merkl concept. Ty, like you mentioned, the proof of concept has been officially been put on the forum as our analysis and review. I think we're all in alignment now to move forward. Boo, I don't know if there was something that you wanted to mention on the proposal that we'll post to the forum.
Just had a quick question, really.
Please.
The Merkl integration proposal's been 99.9% done. I just needed a decision to be made if I'm linking to the POC summary via Google Drive, via the forum, or via a Medium article. I understand there was discussions about a Medium article in the week, but I don't know the current status of that. So if we can agree amongst ourselves and come up with a decision, then I'll be ready to release that.
Yeah, I think from like a long-term perspective, I think Medium is probably the proper way to go. But I know we've had some internal conversations with the broader council units as well, just to kind of unify that as we try to unify kind of like the web presence and everything else that we do, just so we're a little bit more organized and structured. But Ty's already got it posted to the forum, so I would be in favor of getting this posted ASAP. So that we can kind of make the move on Merkl. You know, I think we've beat the analysis to death with everything that we've been doing. So I'm fully aligned with kind of getting this going and getting it across the finish line. But I'll open it up to other council members for their thoughts and opinions as well.
That's a simple agree for me.
Sounds good. Thanks, Eric.
Okay, forum it is. Okay, leave that with me. I'll see if I can get it out in the next 24 hours. And that's it from me.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, well, good things to come from that. All right, next, I'll jump into another proposal that I had put together a while back prior to the discussion of the TEL3 upgrade. What I'm thinking of doing is maybe I'll share my screen and I can share the document. We can walk through it. But it basically kind of just goes through the alignment and standardization of pools and protocols that we want to align with as a TELx council. So just give me a sec and I will share my screen here. And just let me know when you guys can see it and then I can get started.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So the abstract, really, the proposal establishes a unified liquidity framework for TELx by standardizing pool structure across key chains and aligning with Uniswap, the most widely adopted and trusted decentralized exchange in the industry. And if you guys want, I could probably zoom in a little bit just to make it a little bit clearer on the stream. I'm sure that'll help. So under this framework, TELx will focus on a simplified and scalable pool design consisting of 2 core pools per chain, ETH essentially and EUSD, across Ethereum, Polygon, and Base, alongside the stablecoin pools on Polygon. Liquidity incentives will be reallocated from existing balancer pools, which will remain active but no longer incentivized. In addition to existing USDC MXN pool on Uniswap, will be deprecated in favor of the swap from USDC to EUSD, aligning with the broader strategy to prioritize EUSD issued by Telcoin Digital Asset Bank. To be eligible for incentives, this is not changing. Liquidity providers must stake their Uniswap LP NFT positions through the TELx platform, ensuring proper tracking and distribution of rewards. This proposal positions TELx alongside industry standard infrastructure, improves capital efficiency, and supports long-term goal of establishing deep, accessible liquidity for TEL across all supported chains. So I'll just kind of go through quickly what's said in the abstract, but essentially we'll be kind of moving to a broader pool structure, essentially for now, of having liquidity in a TEL ETH pool and a TEL EUSD pool, essentially on all of the different chains that we're going to be on, like mentioned, so Ethereum, Polygon, and Base. We're positioning to adjust the pool incentives from 648,000 down to about 500,000, just to allow us a little bit more of that flexibility with those rewards, which we'll talk about in a little bit of a second here. Because essentially, like now, with the amount of awards we have, like we're kind of stuck with 6. And if we kind of want to start incentivizing other, stablecoin pools or anything like that in partnership or association with TDAB, we're obviously going to need a little bit more incentives enabled to do that, right? So to receive the incentives, liquidity providers must stake their Uniswap position, like we said, on TELx. This is still up in the air and to be discussed, but during the transition period, incentives may be temporarily split between legacy and new pools to support orderly migration. So following this period, incentives will be fully allocated to the new standardized pool. So again, we don't know if it's going to be, a 50-50 split, 75-25, and we don't know how long for, but at least we're thinking about that. We want to hear from the community on what you guys think would be equitable as we work through this kind of transition. So legacy pool status, all of the balancer pools, TEL USDC, wrapped ETH, and wrapped BTC will be deprecated. These pools will still remain active, but they just won't have any incentives. So anybody still providing liquidity to those pools will continue to generate fee-based returns only, okay? Uniswap pool adjustments. Currently, right now, we have the USDC EMXN pool. But like I said, we want to deprecate that and align more with the TDAB stablecoins and adjust anything that's in USDC format into an EUSD format. Okay. So liquidity provision model, the new framework leverages Uniswap V4 liquidity design, allowing for concentrated liquidity, which we've talked about ad nauseum with the tighter ranges. So this is going to serve as the primary strategy, enabling optimized capital efficiency and higher fee generation. We're also going to have the ability for full range liquidity, which serves as a secondary strategy, providing continuous liquidity coverage during periods of high volatility, right? So the goal there is that if there's a decent amount of liquidity in a tight range and we see some high levels of volatility, there still is some liquidity outside of like those tight ranges to be able to facilitate swaps. So it's kind of like the concentrated liquidity is kind of like the strategy A, and the full range liquidity is more like the strategy B, like we said in the secondary strategy aspect of it, right? So this combined approach balances efficiency with resilience, supporting both active and passive liquidity providers. Like I mentioned, this was put together before we finalized everything with Merkl, as we kind of just discussed. So I don't think we need to go through that. So motivation, TELx Council's North Star is to provide the deepest and most accessible liquidity for the TEL token across all supported chains. To achieve this, TELx must consolidate liquidity into high impact, high volume trading pairs. It also must reduce fragmentation across platforms and pool types, simplify the experience for new and existing users, align with infrastructure that captures the majority of DeFi trading volume. Additionally, expanding liquidity around EUSD supports broader ecosystem alignment and strengthens the integration between TELx and TDAP. Okay. The rationale of the proposal is guided by a clear strategic direction, alignment with Uniswap as the industry standard. So they represent the most widely used and trusted decentralized exchange in DeFi. Aligning TELx liquidity with Uniswap improves discoverability and accessibility, integration with aggregators and trading tools, participation from a broader set of liquidity providers. So the optimal asset pairing strategy with those two assets that we talked about before, ETH, obviously it's the most widely traded and liquid asset in crypto. And EUSD, obviously, we want to continue to partner and strengthen the relationship that we have with TDAP. Okay. So that strategy maximizes both external liquidity access and internal ecosystem alignment. Okay. Focused and expandable pool design. This proposal establishes an initial focus on core liquidity pairs aligned with strategic priorities while maintaining flexibility to expand into additional pools as the ecosystem evolves. Again, we know that we had some aggregator issues with some of the hooks. Again, we don't think we need to go into that. Once we move to Merkl, that will be a non-issue anymore. So transitioning from legacy infrastructure, recent developments within Balancer, this was back in November of last year, the security incident and structural changes highlight the importance of evolving toward more robust and widely adopted infrastructure. Maintaining legacy pools without incentives preserves user flexibility while signaling the preferred direction for liquidity. So just to go through kind of the phases of what we're thinking about for the implementation of this, again, should it go forward, it'll be reviewed and discussed by community and TELx Council, which is kind of what we're doing now. Once aligned, we know the process. It goes to Snapshot for voting. Once approved, the Compliance Council has, I believe, 48 hours to review and then formally pass it. To deploy, we would launch the new standardized pools across Ethereum, Polygon, and Base on Uniswap v4, update incentives for existing TEL-ETH pools, initiate incentive distribution across all new and updated pools, maintain legacy pools in non-incentivized state. Phase 3, the transition. So again, incentives may be temporarily split between legacy and new pools. This supports gradual liquidity migration without any disruption, and then monitor the liquidity distribution, volume, and participation. And then once we get full alignment and we want to move forward, incentives are fully allocated to the new standardized pools. They continue to optimize for liquidity distribution and ongoing evaluation of rewards infrastructure. Again, I took out the, or will take out the hook usage because that won't apply anymore. But through the integration with Merkl, we'll have that ability to review, the rewards and how they're going, similar to the proof of concept that we did to initially review them, right? So with this proposal, the expected outcomes are to deepen the TEL liquidity across all chains. Again, that is our true North Star. So those concentrated pools improve depth and trading efficiency, improved user experience. So standardized pool structure reduces complexity. Again, I think we're going to get some feedback probably from the community on kind of those tight ranges versus full range. Obviously, we know the full range is a little bit more of a set it and forget it and a little bit easier for, let's say, new users into DeFi. But having that strategy between the split really, optimizes and deepens that liquidity. So that's why we're pushing forward with that. So again, the goal would be to increase trading volume and fees for those liquidity providers. So without the hook being included, we'll have better aggregator compatibility, which will help with routing and activities. Okay. Stronger ecosystem alignment, which again further aligns with Telcoin Digital Asset Bank, and then having the flexibility and future-ready framework to continue to adjust and kind of do things moving forward. So lastly, budget and funding. Again, no incentives are funded through the reallocation of existing TEL emissions, and no additional funding or new emissions are required. This may be something we have to look at just because I don't know if there's any costs from Halil or anybody just to get kind of these updated with Merkl as well to get them on the TELx website. something that we can review and adjust before officially putting this proposal to the forum. But so the precedent, this proposal establishes the preferred liquidity framework for TELx going forward, creating a standardized and scalable approach that aligns with industry-leading infrastructure while supporting Telcoin native assets and long-term ecosystem growth. So one thing I'll just note too, because this again was before the TEL3 upgrade. So just keep in mind, all of these pools that we're going to be creating on Uniswap are going to be TEL3. So it's not going to be TEL2, it's going to be TEL3. So once TEL3 token upgrade is approved past Snapshot and kind of ready to go, then this is the timeline of when we would be facilitating this proposal as well. So I will stop talking for a little bit, open the floor to any community council that may have any questions, comments, concerns, and I'll just quickly look to see if there's any questions in the chat, which I do not see.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so I was hoping for a little bit more to give me a break from talking, but okay. All good. I know we've kind of internally been talking about this for a while. This is kind of the first time we're talking about this publicly, with the broader community. I feel, we're pretty much aligned with this strategy moving forward. But of course, we want to make sure that we have the community's backing with this as well.
Yeah, Andrew, after your long story, I think it's good to highlight that we're basically finding direction for future incentives, and there's a lot going on, a lot of dominoes, like we say every time, and I think we're slowly going to see what's actually happening and how we're aligning with everything. Yeah. So
well, it's about future, being future forward and flexible in order to be able to pivot and move, as quickly as we can and adaptively as we can. So that is the goal overall. And I think, with this proposal and this, partnership with Merkl and a further partnership with Uniswap helps us align towards that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to understand that we're not some, I don't know how do you call it, some simple crypto protocol that just has to deal with its own environments, but we're Telcoin combined with the bank and association. It's much larger, so it's sometimes it's harder to connect all the dots and take it slow, but be good at what you do. So it's all in all, it's coming together pretty nice. So yeah, it's a great job.
And we could finally start talking about all the dominoes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Boo, I cut you off. Go ahead.
There were some dependencies on getting some development done. I assume they're all that's all being taken care of. I guess we can check back on that if Leo's not around today.
Yeah, I don't know, Leo, if you're able to. I know you asked us not to ask you any questions, but I don't know if you have any.
I asked for no surprise questions, so that's all right. Yeah.
Surprise!
Surprise!
You gave me enough warning. Development stuff, I assume, was to do with Merkl.
Yes.
And the hook, and
yeah, cool.
Well, the hook stuff mainly. What we discussed last time, I think.
Hook stuff, there hasn't been any news because Noah's been caught up with some other stuff. But Hello yesterday was doing an end-to-end test on Merkl and the UI for it, so or how it interacts with the current TELx UI essentially, because we don't expect any difference in the user experience. I haven't heard back from him on how it went though, so might be a case of no news is good news, but I will confirm that in the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, no more info on.
No, that's good. It's just get a better understanding of kind of where things are at and what needs to be done once we're ready to implement. But like I said, a little bit before, this proposal will not really move forward until the TEL3 token is ready, established, and ready to go. So on that note, the next topic we have is the TEL3 upgrade discussion. Again, I think from our perspective, it's really just about making sure we have liquidity available as soon as possible. Once TEL3 contract address is created, approved, and all that kind of stuff. So really, I think for us, it's just about the speed at which we kind of move to get these things done, which is why I think having it, approved on the forum and through Snapshot ahead of time, that once everything is ready to go, we can spin up those pools pretty quickly.
I mean, I think that's the key point. We've got 3 avenues all meeting. We've got the adoption of Merkl as the distribution, we've got the restructuring of the pools, and we've got the TEL3 upgrade to accommodate. And so if we can get approval, as you say, Andrew, on the Merkl side, Boo, and the restructuring of the pools, then once the vote is done on TEL3 and we've got a good, clear idea of implementation times, then the 3 threads that we're managing can all come together. And that's going to be, I think, the challenge is to have everything that's basically 3 proposals all merging together at the same time to accommodate the change that's needed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the one thing that is beneficial, though, at least we can probably knock one domino off, is the Merkl side. Like, I think we can get that going ASAP, so that we don't have to wait until, doing the other 2 at the same time. And then it's more just about facilitating, new pools with TEL3 and EUSD on Uniswap. Right. So at least
okay. So Andrew, once the proposal for Merkl is up on the forum, we have some time for feedback from the community, we vote on it, then we can implement that on the existing pools. Is that
correct?
Is that what we're saying? Right. Okay.
That's the way I'm thinking of it, unless you guys feel differently. But I'd rather get moving on the Merkl side of the reward distribution before we have to wait until what's going on with TEL3, in my opinion.
Well, that gets one out of the way, certainly.
It's one thing on per plate.
Yeah, that sounds better than a big bang. So if we can do it step by step, that's probably best.
Yeah, the other 2 we have to wait because we're waiting for TEL3, right? It doesn't make any sense right now at this point to adjust the pools to go from, balancer, a wrap BTC pool to a TEL ETH pool or a TEL EUSD pool on Uniswap, and then a couple months later we have to do it again to incorporate TEL3. Like, those ones, I think we have to do in conjunction with each other, but Merkl we can do ahead of time.
So here's a surprise question for Leo, because I know he's been waiting on one. We can just set up campaigns then. Do we need to engage with Merkl in any other way, Leo? Or can we just set up a campaign and off we go on our own? Or do we need Merkl's engagement to help us?
If it's on a V4 pool without a hook, we can just set it up. If we're relying on subscription, then I think we will need to run that by them a bit. Yeah.
Leo, correct me if I'm wrong too. Like, wouldn't before we get everything set up, we have to work with their APIs to make sure that the NFTs that are staked on TELx are compatible with the Merkl system, right? Like, that's really the interactions we need to have with them, is just to make sure that once the NFTs are staked on or subscribed on TELx, that it's going to facilitate the rewards and distribution.
So that's the integration they built for us, which reads the subscription. I believe it doesn't care about the hook itself. So, and we'll retain that functionality. even after we've stripped the hook. So we have that built in, and we have the kind of template for creating the campaigns based on that. So
Okay,
we
well,
should be good. Yeah.
I would say let's do some maybe some tests before, just to make sure everything works before we kind of push the go live button on that, and just kind of proof it out.
We have the two protocols as well. We've got the V4 that we know because we've done the proof of concept on, but we've also got the balancer then rewards that are going to be distributed through Merkl. Is that correct? Or is it only going to be the Uniswap V4 pools?
Yeah, our focus has been Uniswap V4, but I don't know if they support Balancer. I imagine they do. We could look at bringing Balancer rewards in through Merkl, but we haven't really had any issues with those. So
then yeah, I would touch base with Baptiste on that, Leo, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Just from my perception, it was only on the Uniswap stuff for now, but if we can do the balancer stuff too, then all better.
But based on what you were presenting today, we'd be moving away from balancer anyway. Is that
yes?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more of like an interim situation. Or...
Well, the pools that we're going to be getting Merkl to distribute the rewards is an interim situation too, until we can get the TEL3 token created, and then we can start creating the new pools on Uniswap in entirety.
Yeah. I think maybe for simplicity, we should be working with what we know, which is use Merkl for the Uniswap V4 pools and leave the existing distribution on balancer as is.
I'm fine
until we restructure. That just otherwise we're introducing another unknown into the equation, which is balancer Merkl.
Yep. No, I would be aligned with that.
So Merkl distribution only applies to the 3 Uniswap pools, and leave balancer side untouched until we restructure. That would be my thoughts.
Yeah, I would go with Ty. I would go with you on that. I think it's good we leave balancer as is for now, but for the future, look to maybe, I don't know, move to Uniswap V2 also, because balancer, I think it will be a risk somewhere in the future, maybe.
Well, we'll be deprecating those pools anyway, don't forget, Eric. So, why mess with them for a couple of maybe months? It doesn't make sense.
No, I agree, Ty. I would go with leave balancer as is, move Uniswap pools to Merkl, and then move in the end move balancer when we see the time fit also to maybe to Uniswap V2, because I think we do want to keep some V2 pools still. For me, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you got the 80-20 percentages, of course, that balancer has. They're not having that on Uniswap, I think. But in the end, we should leave balancer, I think. Yeah, it's good. It's too risky.
Okay, yeah.
I'm aligned. Yeah, Boo, not to put you on the spot, but in the 99.9% completion of the Merkl proposal, does it specifically state that it's only going to be for Uniswap, or does it talk to?
Yeah, there's no reference to balancer in there.
Okay. That was my thoughts. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm aligned. I think Mike is on. I don't know, Mike, if you.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys 100%. I think we leave balancer alone, just deprecate it as we launch the new pools, just time it out, and then motivate people to move.
Sounds good. Okay, then Boo, I think we're all in alignment to get that proposal posted to the forum. Give it a week or two for the community to formally review it, even though I feel like we've been talking about it for months. And then maybe depending on timing, maybe we can push it to Snapshot, next week and kind of finalize things before our next meeting. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I might need someone to push it to Snapshot for me, as I'm going to be out next week.
Yeah, I can probably do that for you. No problem.
Yeah, no, I think we should get this out of the way as soon as we can now.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'll in the meantime too, I'll work on incorporating the TEL3 stuff into the proposal I went through today on the pool restructuring and framework, and then take out any of the references to Merkl, as we've already going to be adopting that. That should be good. Okay, agenda-wise, I think we talked through everything that we wanted to. This leads us to the open Q&A. Looking at the chat, I can see Dali's posting some stuff, which is always appreciated. Thank you, Dali. Outside of that, I'm not seeing any questions, but I'll open it to the floor. If anybody on the call has any other further questions, comments, concerns, speak now or forever hold your peace. It's a forever holding peace it is. Okay, good.
Sorry, I thought Mike was going to say something because he his image lit up on the screen here.
I dropped my phone and activated my microphone, I think.
But no.
So, Andrew, just on your proposal then on the restructuring,
Yes,
I think you need to, in all honesty, kind of mention the TEL3 upgrade and how we'll dovetail in with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
in the
I'll
proposal.
incorporate the whole TEL3 upgrade into the proposal, and make sure that like timing wise aligns with when the TEL token is created on chain, so that we have a contract address, because there's nothing we can do until we have a contract address, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I will incorporate everything TEL3 related into the proposal, and then take out the Merkl stuff that we were talking about at the time. I'll post it in Slack for internal review, but I would say let's focus on the Merkl stuff for this week, and then maybe next week or the week after I can post the other one to the forum for discussion and continued review. That one I think we could take a little bit more time on. Merkl, I would push to get going ASAP though.
So, Boo, you'll have to dovetail that in with watching the football, mate.
I'll see what I can do.
What do you mean? Canada lost? I thought FIFA was over.
Scotland's out of it as well. I've lost interest completely.
Well, I was going to say, we could probably talk about FIFA for another 15, 20 minutes. But
No.
maybe not the
No.
forum.
No. But were there any questions on the stream? Because it's very quiet on our internal feed here.
No, there's nothing I can see from the stream online. We're good. If anybody does have questions later on, again, Discord, Telegram, X, forums, you can reach us there, or you can reach out to the TELx Council via email, TELx Council at TELx. Oh, geez, I don't even know what the email is. Let me go try to find it before I start giving it out. Come on. Unless somebody else knows it off the top of their head.
Derek's saying TELx-council at telcoin.org.
Yes, I just got there too. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if anybody wants to reach out via email, that is also an appropriate way to reach out. Beautiful. Okay, thanks again, everyone. Appreciate the time. Next meeting will be in 2 weeks' time on July 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern again. So thank you very much, and we'll see you then. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.